It was Wonder Woman. It's the first female.
That's true, yeah. Aside from
Action.
like Catwoman, and that
No,
really
that
didn't go
wasn't-
well.
Yeah, and look how fucking long ago that was. And
Yeah.
how long it took for us to get another Catwoman movie.
Yeah.
We've not gotten one. Look how long it's taken us to get a female action hero lead.
Yeah, they don't want to believe it works because, I mean, a combination of that and a combination of just good old-fashioned sexism.
Yeah. And so you got, Black Widow in the Avengers movies is arguably one of the most popular characters.
I mean, she bores the shit out of me, but to each their own.
I have friends that love Natasha.
All right. I'm
don't
sure.
care.
I'm bored. I don't really
just
give a
don't
shit
find-
about her or Hawkeye or even really the Hulk in those movies. Kind of blows. I'm mainly there for
Iron Man.
well, no, I'm mainly there for Steve and fucking
Who did
Thor.
you support in Civil War?
Civil War. Fuck.
Were you pro registration or
Are we
anti-
talking the comic or the movie?
movie?
Fuck.
were
The
you-
movie like distilled that so like.
Well, they had to, so that it would
I
fit
understand they
within their
fucking
story
had
they
to,
were telling.
but I think both sides are kind of fucking dumb on that.
Shut up, Donald.
I don't know. Like, okay,
Like for me, it's
I don't know. I didn't realize until recently that I'm actually in kind of a minority when it comes to not liking Civil War, but I didn't think that was a really good movie. It was just so
I
like
hated
bloated.
it.
Yeah, and
hated Civil War.
fucking the new Avengers sounds like it's gonna be even worse because they've already said like, yeah, we're gonna have like 30 plus Marvel heroes in the next Avengers movie, and it's like, why? Stop! I'm not gonna be able to follow or give a shit about anywhere near enough of them to make that worth your while.
Yeah, what I had against it was, like, I am speaking as someone with guns in the next room.
Mm-hmm.
Guns should be regulated.
Yeah.
You are talking about people who are weapons more dangerous than any gun. People who are weapons more dangerous than any... Of fucking course they should be, like, fucking doxxed by
Oh,
the
absolutely.
government.
And I mean, it's
Like,
it's a
and Captain
sim-
America going, no, not Bucky. He's innocent. Well, let the fucking courts prove it. He's white. He'll be fine.
I mean,
He's a white, straight man. He'll be fine.
it's also like they brought that up a little more eloquently in fucking Watchmen, where it's like, yeah, Dr. Manhattan, you couldn't do that. There's literally no way to keep him in check if he didn't want to be. They just, like, that's always been the Superman argument, and they brought it up in Batman v Superman. It's like, yeah, there's really like nothing you can do, because if he wanted to fuck everything up, he straight up fucking could. There's nothing you could do to really stop him. But like,
And let's
the
be
problem
real.
is, like, I kind of agree and disagree with both sides, because like, it is true that they need an oversight on both sides. It's like, yeah, the fucking Avengers need an oversight like Tony wants, and the fucking whatever their oversight is also needs an oversight like fucking the Captain wants, because what if Hydra is fucking a part of it, or some other organization is fucking
See, I
a
couldn't
part
even
of it,
get
like
what
with
Captain
Shield.
America's fucking motives for not signing were,
Well, it's
because it came down to, like.
did you
it
see
really
Winter
felt
Soldier?
Like, no, because I couldn't fucking sit through the first 5 minutes of it.
Okay, well, okay,
Like,
so
I could
that's
not stand Winter
a lot of it ties into Winter Soldier, and I like the Captain America. For some reason, I never thought of myself as a Captain America fan, but I like his movies the best of all of those. I guess I also really like political dramas and shit, but in Winter Soldier, basically, what happened was, it was basically just revealed that Hydra was behind Shield and had been for years, and that's really what happened with Bucky, is that he was taken over and he was being developed by that side of Shield, and so they rebel and they try and kill Nick Fury, and they Natasha and fucking Steve have to run off, and they discover all of this shit, and then so yeah, that's really what his point is that he's trying to make, is like, if they do that, if they make themselves beholden to this oversight. What if it's another situation like that, where it turns out that is being held by Hydra or some other nefarious shit, and they're the ones who are being given the power? So in reality, they're both right and they're both wrong, because in reality, they do need the checks and balances. It needs to be a three-pronged system, though, so that the heroes are oversighting someone, then someone's oversighting them, then someone's oversighting them, a third party, so that it's a fucking circle, like with our actual government, with the fucking three branches, so that, like, there's no one person in power and no one person that can't be vetoed in some way. Like, that's the thing, is like, they're both kind of wrong, because both of them want a solution that's really ineloquent and puts too much power on someone regardless.
No, because even then, Iron Man's still fucking the right one, because he's saying, look, we need some kind of oversight.
Yeah.
Captain America's saying, well, there's not enough oversight, so I won't go with any oversight.
Well, no,
that's a fucking stupid mindset. Like,
it's not that, it's
I want Oreos. Well, you can have one Oreo. Well, that's not enough Oreos, so I won't eat any fucking Oreos.
Well, that's the thing, is like, before Winter Soldier, he would have agreed and just been like that, but then after S.H.I.E.L.D. betraying him like that, and like showing that, like, he's a lot more paranoid, and he's a lot less open to, like, giving up his freedoms for the security, and it's
even then,
no, I agree, like,
some is better than none, especially if you want more than some.
Right. Well, no, that's the thing, is I do agree more with Tony on that. I really do feel like his side is better, but it's also, it's basically Tony thinks that they should give themselves up to someone else for oversight, and Steve feels like they should be the oversight over everyone else. And that's pretty fucked up on Steve's side, but it's also on Tony's side, because, like, yeah, what if they're being controlled, like, as guns for hire? Like, they just need oversight in more ways. Like, there needs to be more than just two sides to it. You need to be able to make it so that you actually do have to come to an agreement to make sure that it is for the betterment of the people and everyone involved.
See, when I was watching it, I picked up none of that. It was, hey, Cap, we should definitely have some oversight. The Captain was like, but Bucky, no! What about Bucky? Like, that's literally all. If you didn't see Winter Soldier like you're describing, all it comes across as is...
That's my problem with the MCU in general, is that they kind of all assume that you've been watching everything involved with all of them, and I can't. First off, Thor's movies fucking blow, which sucks, because I love Thor as a character, but his movies suck.
That first 5 minutes of fucking Winter Soldier was so bad.
No, I can agree with you.
Like, it was fucking awful.
I'll agree with you. Like, I don't really like Winter Soldier that much, but I don't know. I just like Steve as a character so much that I'm willing to put up with it to see more of him. And, like, yeah, I definitely like the more political sides to it, to, like, see that kind of shit.
That's what ruins it for me.
Really?
Yeah, no, like, I have enough politics in life. I fucking follow politics very closely. Last thing I need is fucking pseudo-fascist group causing trouble for honest, hardworking Americans, and this was before Trump, and it fucking predicted, like, oh, the symbol of America, the presidency, or Captain America, is now agent of the Nazis, or Hydra. Like, how fucking, like, no, I don't fucking need that anymore.
No.
That's why I read Green Lantern comics. He's in fucking space. Like, there's no politics in space. It's fucking, that alien's good to me, that alien's bad to me. Fuck up his day.
I don't know, the MCU is just so fucking, it's just a hot mess at this point. The problem is, in a lot of ways, is that they churn them out, and it's like they're treating it like
a TV series.
Yeah, they're treating it like a TV series. Like, you get constant installments, and that's pretty cool. You get like one or two movies a fucking year, and that's kind of cool in concept. But then it's like, but the thing is, it's diminishing returns, because they can't keep them at the same quality and like that same quality and budget as like the ones before Avengers were, while doing that. Like they have to cut fucking corners, like, and they really showed in Homecoming. Because I love Homecoming as story-wise, and the writing and the acting were all good, but the cinematography is so fucking cookie cutter, like just basic, and it's really, it's just boring cinematography.
You read Cracked. Did you see the article on why all the colors are like washed out and shitty looking in the movies now?
Fuck, I don't think so.
It's because of HD cameras.
Really?
When an HD camera records a video, it looks almost like it's in black and white. It's very sepia out and grayed out. And it takes a digital artist to go in and pull those colors out.
Right.
But you can only pull so many, like it's almost like 8-bit graphics. You can only have so much color on.
Yeah, it's like the stupid zoom enhance thing. It's like you can't really do that because pictures have a certain amount of fucking pixels that are captured. You can't just make more happen.
Well, right, so they have a choice of what colors to bring out.
And in fact, in film, it would have worked better because then they, like, to remaster film color, they would just paint the color directly onto the film stock.
Yeah. And so
I mean, you can't do that as easily digitally, but I feel like it could be possible. It would just look very artificial.
You have less option for color with HD cameras.
Really? Yeah.
The cameras just don't do.
I mean, it's like, it's a combination like that and also like, that doesn't count.
It was in the movie, fuck you.
That's not the score.
It was a major score.
It was part of the soundtrack.
I'm counting it.
Alright. Well, aside from that, like, can you hum the Avengers theme? What does the Avengers score sound like? Like, what's their theme?
We are the Avengers. We are the fucking Avengers.
That's the thing, is like, all of their scores are just, this is an action movie score. It's just fucking, like, my dad pointed out, because he's a musician, like, primarily, and the thing he's pointed out, because he loves movies like this, and, like, the thing he pointed out is, like, when he watches them, it's just constant noise. Like, you seeing the Avengers 2, like, watch that movie, there's not a second where there's silence. Like, it's constant score throughout. And that's just, like, exhausting to listen to. Like, someone pointed out, with Michael Bay, like, that's why it's hard to remember anything with the Transformers movies, because the way he shoots them and the way he treats them is that every shot is treated like it's important information that your brain needs to hold on to.
Yeah.
So it gets overloaded and you can't hold on to any of it. Like if that's why reverse shot is a thing. Because if you watch something like, I think the example they used was Psycho. Like, there's a scene where the main character, I don't know her name because I actually haven't seen it, and Norman Bates are speaking. And they're just talking. So for the most part, you don't need to retain the information. It's just shot, reverse shot, just basic stuff. You don't really need to retain most of it. And then she mentions something about his mother, and then when it cuts back to him, it's a different angle, and the lighting is much different. It's much more dramatic. And there's a fucking taxidermied owl like right behind where it's a profile, so it's like over behind him in terms of like across from the camera. So it's like showing you like this is something, this is a touchy subject with him, this is important information, and then it sticks with that. With the Michael Bay movie, none of the shots are the same framing. Every time he cuts to another thing, it's completely different framing. It's like, this is important, this is important, this is important, this is important. And it's like, you can't retain any of it unless you could retain the entire movie. It's keeping it at a fucking 10 constantly. And that's what fucking the score in Marvel is doing, is it's just like, this is music, you listen. So you can't fucking latch onto any of it as like interesting the way you could like an Indiana Jones theme or the fucking Superman theme from the Donner Supermans.
This is just not iconic.
Yeah, well, it's really hard for them to be because they don't really theme. Like, there's no like motifs going on or like any specific like piece of the music that's being repeated. It's like all pretty much just like fresh stuff every moment. And like I can, if you played some for me.